Hey guys, what is up? Echo here. And today I just wanted to kind of talk about something a little bit different, something I've never really done before on this channel, and that is why I stopped doing hard drugs. So when I say hard drugs, I just mean like cocaine. I still do coke sometimes, MDMA, acid, MDA, all the big ones. Basically now I just drink and smoke weed. Now, if you've seen any of the stories on this channel, you probably know that when I was just like 16, 17, even up until I was like 20, I was just kind of like crazy. I just had no self-control. If someone wanted to like be like, oh, let's go hang out today, or let's get high as fuck today, or whatever. If I had work, I'd call it off. If I had anything on, I'll just cancel it. And like drugs would be my number one priority. Now, I've had some of the best times of my life on drugs. I've gone to some amazing festivals. I've had these great experiences. I've had the funniest ever times with friends. So I suppose you're wondering, well, why would you just make that stop? And my answer is, well, it's not good for you, man. Now, I'm not really talking about the physical health effects because honestly, the physical health effects, at least for me, were quite minimal. I do lead a pretty healthy lifestyle outside of, doing drugs occasionally. Even back then, it was like I was doing drugs all the time, but I was still eating really well. I was working out, going on runs and stuff. But I'm more talking about like the mental side of it. It's just not good for your mental health to be doing all these things all the time that alter your mood. And if you take something, for example, like MDMA, that makes you really happy for a short period of time, and then you have days of sadness after. Or during my equivalent of spring break, I was literally sad and wanted to kill myself for 3 months. When you take these things into consideration, it just no longer becomes worth it, I guess. And so today I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about why I stopped and also how I stopped. So again, like I was really going kind of hard and crazy just all the time. My biggest change, I think, was after school years, which is, like I just said, my equivalent of school break. It's 2 weeks of just party after you finish school. And me and my friend, we did a lot of pills. I'll put a proper story up later, but it's going to be like a 3-part story. But me and my friend, we just got absolutely slaughtered like every single night. Some nights we didn't even do anything. We just got fucked up and then just sat in my car. Now, this was obviously like so much fun at the time, and it was like whatever. We had some really good conversations, some great memories. My friend throwing up like a whole pickle and like 20 people coming back to chill around my car for some reason, and we literally knew like 3 of them. And just some funny conversations and hilarious interactions with each other. But the main reason that I really got put off, and this was after school years, is because I was so depressed. I remember the day after I got home, I was watching some like dog show on the TV. I just turned on the TV and it was on. And I literally just started weeping. Like not just crying, like weeping. I remember a few days after that, like I had a knife out because I was like cutting up an onion. And I remember standing it up on the bench. And I closed my eyes and then I would just kind of like move my head toward it like really fast. And I would literally like, I don't know what I was doing, if I was trying to kill myself, if I was like just trying to feel something, because I had no emotions after the schooly weeks. Anyway, I did it about 5 or 6 times, and on the last time I actually cut myself right next to my eye. It was very close. If it had been a centimeter more, I would have been blind. An inch more and I would have killed myself. So that kind of woke me up. After that, I really slowed down. So this is when I was like 18, I guess. After that, I really slowed down. I stopped doing hard drugs altogether for a while. But of course, like it comes back. And when you're 18, 19, like it's just kind of like, yeah, let's party. So after I kind of got over my 3 month of full-on depression, I went back out, I started partying, I was tripping all the time as well, and this was just putting me in a really bad like state of mind. It just wasn't doing great for my mental health. So it was only after I finished university, so when I was about 20 or 21, that I kind of woke up and said, you know what, I don't need to be doing this anymore. There's better things to spend your money on. There's more important things in life. I realized that I didn't have any direction. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I got older. I hated my job in hospitality. I didn't want to go to work. I felt like all my friends weren't actual friends. They were just there to do drugs with. And typically, unfortunately, that's kind of the case. When you have drug friends and you give up drugs, unfortunately, most of them kind of disappear from your life. And this is kind of how we get into how I stopped and how I quit. So in order to quit, you need to change a lot more than just your habits. You have to change your friend group. You have to change what you do for fun. You have to change your values, the things you enjoy. You have to prioritize goals in your life that you actually want to achieve. And this is actually why addicts make actually really good business people and good workers. And they're actually quite good at a lot of different things because they can hyperfixate on something. They can become addicted to something. Unfortunately, drugs are really easy And when you have a lot of friends that do that as well, you want to feel valued, which means you do that with them. And so, like I said, it's an entire lifestyle change. You go from hanging out with these people every day, just kind of wasting time and wasting your life with them. Well, you have to change that. You have to change your friend group. You have to change, like I said, your values. You have to change what you like to do for fun. And sometimes that means moving away. It's like sending someone into rehab, getting them away from the problems. And I guess, like, do I regret anything I did? Yeah. I have tons of regret from that time in my life. I wish I nailed down and got my shit together instead, because I think I'd be much further ahead toward my goals if I hadn't have. I wish I had ditched some of those friends early, because it became very apparent very quickly when I stopped doing that with them that they were not actually my friends and they were just hanging out with me because we did that together. But obviously we can't go back in time and change the past, so all we can do is focus on the future and how we can become better. So how do you become better? Well, like I said, you need to change your entire values. If you want to change your life, you have to change your entire life. And it's a very uncomfortable change. It's not very nice. It doesn't feel good. Even though you're doing the right thing, it doesn't feel like you're doing the right thing, because you're losing friends and suddenly you're alone and you're no longer having as much fun. You're no longer smiling as much. That's just how it works. The hardest things in your life, the most change in your life, comes from pain. It's not free. And once I was out of that, it wasn't even the end of the road, because I was still smoking weed every day and doing nothing but playing video games. It was a step in the right direction, but it still wasn't where I wanted to be. And to say you grow out of it, I think is kind of wrong. I don't think you'd grow out of it ever. That's why there's crackheads in their 60s. You have to want it. You have to want the change. You have to want to be better. You have to want to achieve your actual goals in your life. Now, I suck at setting goals. I hate setting goals, but at least having an idea of the realm of where you want to be. And it can be as simple as, hey, one day I want to not worry about money, you know? I want to go to the shops one week and not think about how much this is going to cost me at the checkout. I want to just be able to buy whatever I want. If I want that $5 pack of Oreos, I want to just be able to buy it. When I go out to eat at a restaurant, I don't want to be, you know, pressing other tip amount and entering in 5%. I want to be able to tip 20%. I want to be able to fill my car up with fuel. I remember there was a time where I was literally putting like $6 at a time in my car, because that's all I could afford. And so you have to look at how far you've come, even if it's the smallest step in the right direction. And if you're like 18 or something, or 17 or 16, and you're acting all crazy and doing drugs and stuff, I know you don't care right now and you're having a lot of fun, but you just have to know deep in your heart that one day you do need to stop if you want to get what you want. You have to change your entire life, and it's gonna suck. I still have a very long way to go, and I stopped doing these things 4 or 5 years ago. It feels like only yesterday. So I don't really know how to finish this, where I was going to end up. I didn't write a script for this story, but I just kind of wanted to get it out there, get it off my chest, that becoming your ideal person costs your old life. And for some people, that's too high of a cost. I would argue for most people, it's too high of a cost. But if you're sitting there right now thinking, watching this video, or even thinking about changing something in your life, my biggest advice to you would just be to just do it. But know that you will sacrifice literally everything in pursuit of what you want. You might be like me, move to a whole new country where you know no one, have no job, are broke. But am I happy? Absolutely. Do I know what I want? Absolutely. Will I stop at nothing to make it happen? Of course. And this is kind of the mindset shift that you need. And it takes time, it takes years, it takes effort, it takes work, and it sucks. But I know you can do it, because I did. That's going to do it for today's story. More of a lesson, I guess, or a note to my younger self. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.